Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. I recently traveled to Maldives as a tourist. Usually I travel as a worker, expat worker here. This time I had come, not this time, the previous time I came here with my friends for a holidays. Like part of my trip was for holidays and part was for my work. So I thought of doing this video to give an update on what are the things that you need to be doing or some tips to come to Maldives as a tourist. Maldives over a period of time have changed a lot. Initially when I used to come to Maldives during early 2000, Maldives was like only resorts. There were no guest houses, there was nothing called budget tourism. You need to go to a resort and that was it, nothing else. Now there are different options. Now you can come to Malé, then decide where to go. You can do your own bookings. So I thought I will give some tips so that different people, like people who love to do budget vacations, even though they have money, then there are people who want to go for a full luxurious trip. And there are people like in the middle way, they have money but they don't want to spend that much on traveling. Like me, when I travel, I really don't want to spend that much money for my holidays because I feel that we shouldn't look too much of luxury when you are on holidays. Like you have to be with locals, understand the culture. So for that you really have to come and live with common people. So usually I stay in Airbnb homestays when I am on holidays. But when I am on official trips, usually I stay in star hotels. That's the requirement of my job. So let's get started. First thing is like you can have three types of vacations in Maldives. One is like you do all your bookings, like flight bookings separately. You decide first where do you go. You can divide your trip into three parts. Like you should definitely experience a resort stay. Then you should try if you can have a seaplane ride. You should not miss water sports, and there are different types of water sports. So if you are willing not to spend if you are not willing to spend too much of money on these things, I'll tell you first thing what you should do is book the flight tickets first. So you decide on the dates and book a flight ticket. Let me tell you, nowadays I don't see off season in Maldives. This time, like when my friend was coming, I was trying to book and check if off season and I'll get some special prices. But April, May, usually off season, it was like the prices were too high. So tourism in Maldives has like come up like really well after the COVID, and it was one of the first countries to open up post COVID, and a lot of people were coming here and spending time here. So what we do is we will divide the trip into few parts. Like you should experience a local island like Maafushi or Dhifushi, which I have made separate videos. You can check the links of few videos of Maldives trip, Maldives experiences in the description. Please go through those videos. You can understand more things about Maldives. So one is you should definitely go and stay for 2 to 3 days in a local island where you can have local food. You can experience different like restaurants and all. Usually when you go to a resort, you will have to depend on the food, everything, because it's a private island. You have to pay heavily to get the services in a resort. So that's one thing. So experience a local island like Maafushi, Dhifushi. There are many islands. I have been to only these two islands, so you can check for that. I suggest Maafushi but it has become too commercial nowadays, I feel. You can do water sports. You can go for sandbank trip. They have a very good package. Recently my friend went and they did some water sports, snorkeling. Even I think they went to some place where they can see dolphin. Then they went to a sandbank. They serve food there. It was a great experience. He enjoyed it. So you can do that. Then you should go to a resort. Resort means I would suggest you should stay 2 days. 1 day is not enough. 2 days, and you can experience a resort stay. It's completely different. I would suggest you go for a full package. There are two types of package, like all inclusive, where they include unlimited drinks. Drinks doesn't mean that you can drink costly drinks unlimitedly. There are like a list of drinks which you can have unlimited, then unlimited food, from specific restaurants, not all the restaurants. And there are packages like full board where you get 3 meals, so that is also there. And stay for 2 days experience water sports and all. I would suggest you do it in a local island because it would be quite costly there, but if they are including that in your package, that's great. So go for that. And other thing, when you go to the resort, check if that resort transport is on a seaplane. Definitely you have to pay for that. It would cost you roughly at least $200 to $300 per trip. But that's a great experience. I've been on seaplane many times. I've traveled, lucky not paying any money because it was mostly official trips. So I have experienced. It's a very different experience. You see the pilot flying the seaplane, and it's a very small one. It's a Twin Otter Canadian aircrafts, I think. Yeah. Then you should experience all the things in the resort. And the third thing, what I would say is you should stay somewhere near the capital, Male. There are some places to visit, historical places to visit in Male, the capital of Maldives. So what you can do is you either stay in Hulumale, where the prices would be less and it's less congested. You come for a day trip to Male, spend a day, visit all these historical places. You can see the few places are there. There is a video in the description. The link is given. Go through that. I've covered most of the places in Male for tourists to visit. You may not be very comfortable, but I enjoy it. It's good. So you can come to Male and visit Hulumale. Hulumale is the future of Maldives population. They all are moving towards Hulumale. It's a very well planned city. The phase 3 is getting developed, and I've seen all these years. It's coming up really good. Wide roads and everything what a city would need. It's coming up good and very near to the international airport. The airport in Maldives, it's called Velana International Airport. It's being developed, and I think due to some reason it's getting delayed. The project had started more than 5 or 7 years back, and still it's going on because of some delay. I don't know. Hopefully that airport comes, because Maldives definitely needs a much better airport than the one currently they are using. The one they are using is an old airport, but they have got one more runway. Project is going on, so hopefully it will come, and a lot of duty-free shops would come in, and people would use those facilities. So some important things that you need to know about coming to Maldives. First thing is visa. Usually it's visa on arrival for most of the people around the world, especially Indians and all. It's on arrival, but you need to have a confirmed booking. So make sure that you do the bookings in advance for at least for the day you arrive and till you go. If you want to extend your trip, usually they will give a 30 days visa. Even if you are staying for 10 days, it would be for 30 days. So if you want to extend, you can do that as long as you have the visa. Don't carry alcohol when you come to Maldives because it's not allowed. Most of the resorts serve alcohol. Not most, all the resorts will serve alcohol. But in inhabited islands, like if you're going to Mafushi or you are staying in Hulumale or Divoshi, no, they don't serve alcohol in the island. Inhabited island, no, it's not allowed. But there would be safaris nearby. That's the hack. You can go to those safaris, have drink and come back, but it's quite pricey. What are the things that you should take back when you are returning from Maldives? I would say that don't do any shopping because most of the things in Maldives are imported. It's costly. Maybe some souvenir if you want, but mainly it would be memories. The vacation in Maldives, like it's a dream for most of the people nowadays. After marriage, for honeymoon from India, I see a lot of couples coming, and it's a good place. A lot of privacy, and I feel people would enjoy. The beaches are excellent. And the hospitality of the people here, it's great. Especially when you go to a good resort, you will really love it. The kind of food they serve, the standards are really very high. It's very unique. So it's something you should really experience. Which is the best time to travel to Maldives? Like I would say most of the part except the rainy time. Usually now it started raining. It's raining almost every day. I would say that the best time would be like from August till March. That's the peak season. January, December would be very costly. So you can avoid that. if you don't want to spend that much money. And to get the best prices, I would suggest you book through some tour operators or some companies like booking.com or Make My Trip or Agoda, or there are so many companies. Use that rather than booking directly or through your friends or some agent in Maldives, because I find that the rates are really less. This time when I wanted to book some places in Mafushi, and I got through a agent in Maldives to get some good price. The price was like 100% more than what I was getting from Make My Trip, and I did it through Make My Trip. So I suggest you use some travel companies like Make My Trip or booking.com for your bookings in Maldives. If you have any questions related to coming to Maldives for vacation, please put it in the comments. I'll try to answer it.